Hey, it's Ubu, and today we're playing the demo for a game called Eldread, Horrors of a Dark Moon. It's developed by Peter Lynn Jr., it's self-published, and you can find the game on Steam. And as always, at the end of the video, I will give a detailed review and give the game my final judgment. Now let me tell you about the game, and we'll get started. In Eldread, Horrors of a Dark Moon, manage your dwindling oxygen levels and navigate a cosmic horror roguelite in a lunar colony. Confront nightmarish body horror anomalies, survive unpredictable text-driven events, and endure the madness waiting beneath the dark moon. Now that you know what the game is about, let's begin. At the edge of the galaxy, a ship soars above Eldread, a giant moon with multiple moons of its own. Within the decommissioned ship drifting towards the celestial body, pilots stare at it with wonderment as they prepare to investigate a research colony that has been mysteriously silent for months. Suddenly, a massive tentacle emerges in front of the pilots. Before they can react, the ship is surrounded by several large, floating entities. One of the giants slams into the ship's hull without warning. The impact breaches the hull, forcing the ship into a fast descent towards the surface. Fortunately, the crash is softened by ramming through a thick organic growth. Through the ship's reinforced structure, the crew survives with the ship heavily damaged, but still intact. Now stranded on the moon, the survivors put on their gear and prepare for an on-foot expedition. Whoa! Pretty cool intro there. I really like the UI in this game so far. Oops, I was going to read all that. I thought I could click them and then read everything about them. Alright, well, we're back to the character select, so I wanted to read this stuff. So this character's name is Soma. Her past regrets have driven her to join an expedition to an abandoned colony, searching for someone she lost. She has agility ++ and minus knowledge. Special ability, moves first at low health. Okay, and Brett, and his thing is, in order to pay off his debts, he offers his engineering expertise for a voyage to the surface of Eldread 4. He has plus knowledge, minus tactics. Special ability, can craft and repair items without meeting knowledge requirements. Drill gun parts, not available. We're going to play Brett. Now that I know more about the characters, let's move on. Alright. Surface of Eldread, you stumble upon an abandoned base. We have no signal, we have no data. We have our little character sheet here, our inventory. Let's see what these drill gun parts are. Need at least 6 knowledge and a drill bit to craft this item into a drill tool. Okay. Oh, you can use, equip, toss, sell, combine, or trunk. Alright, we have information. This is allies. Basic manual. We have an updated UI toggle system. A dual UI configuration has been integrated into the system software. By pressing the asterisk key, you can toggle the operational style of the interface to suit your situational requirements. Okay, so we have the simplified stat screen, and the front-loaded stat display. Cool. The Legacy Combat slider allows for a more simplified display reference, the combat manual to understand how to parse the system. The knife and shield icon represents combat capability classification. Okay. The arrow symbols scrolls to the next ability under the selected category. Alright, the updated display shows every ability currently available during the combat encounters. This module is located at the bottom left of the screen. Wow, there's a lot to read here. Okay. Survival Guide. Basic Survival Guide. Standard protocols of planetary expeditions. 1. Oxygen is a constantly depleting resource. Always ensure supply of extra canisters on reserve. You can trade cash for O2 storage units designated in either small or medium capacities from our online logistic networks. Refrain from trading in the black market. 2. Rest when needed, but not too excessively. Every minute you waste depletes the vital supply of oxygen in your containment. And 3. Deploy defensive armaments if necessary. If one is found with inadequate structural integrity, use the repair kit salvaged from abandoned colony structures or from units bought in our online logistics. Number 4. If you run into any of our coworkers by chance in your expedition, recruiting them will boost your statistical advantages. Should environmental hazards or any sort of dangerous entity jeopardize your mission, treat the personnel in your party as expendable. Dang. Number 5. Beware of the pervasive mutagenic properties found on Eldread that can damage and alter you at a molecular level. Refrain from consuming any strange biological matter unless you are in a dire situation. Will do, will do. Okay, and there's our combat manual. Combat controls. Contains offensive abilities. Use tactical abilities. Press the attack button to launch your attack. Use tactics to use your tactical ability. Click on the arrows to slide to the next move. Types of offensive abilities. You have melee. Use your fist or your equipped weapon as a melee attack. And then you have range. Fires your gun or uses your secondary attack of your equipped weapon. Ally attack. Sacrifices one of your allies to deal damage. Tentacle strike. Available only if you have acquired the perk. Deals damage based on how high your corruption level is. Tactical abilities. Distance. Increases your evasion based on your tactics. Or of your on your tactic. I don't know. Some odd grammar here. If enemy misses your melee and ranged attack will hit critically. If either you hit with a melee's attack, or if enemy hit you with a physical move, you lose the evasion gain. You gotta clean up some of this text here. Focus. Increase your weapon crit chance based on your tactic, and your next melee or ranged attack crit will have much higher damage. Eye of Siag. Available only if you have acquired the perk. Your next range or melee attack will have 100% accuracy. Additional damage. This damage type converts to corruption. Or run. Sacrifice 10% of your oxygen to escape from battle. Okay, and then we have elders, plantae, human, silicon, and fauna. Or silicone? Silicon. Various damage types have different effectiveness depending on the enemy attribute. Go to log entry for more information. Scan target. Reveals enemy ability. Okay, whoa. Oh my goodness gracious. Data on biosignatures observed on Eldread 4. During investigation of the Eldread 4 colony, multiple anomalous life forms were documented. We have found some evidence that suggests they originated from exposure to mutagenic biological matter that appeared after the moon was removed from its orbit and became a planetary system. Category H. Former human colonists exhibiting extensive morphological reconfiguration. Common traits include misplaced or reallocated anatomical structures, such as worm-like appendages and displaced sensory organs. Many display erratic behavior and report exposure to an unidentified ideological phenomenon. Despite being made from the mutagenic slime, these entities seem vulnerable to weapons based on redacted. Category F. Further stages of reconfiguration observed in affected subjects. Most of these entities display mixed traits of terrestrial and aquatic animal life, particularly invertebrates and deep-sea analogs. Some are forced, I was doing pretty good with reading, actually. This is really good with my track record. But anyways, some are formed by multiple duplicates of human features that look merged together unnaturally. These highly malformed fauna are resistant to heat-based weapons, but are extremely vulnerable to redacted. Category P. Despite the plantae, I want to say plantae, I don't know if that's correct. But despite the plantae classification, these forms more closely resemble fungal colonies and primitive sessile life found in Earth's marine environments. Characterized by clustering growth patterns, shared structural networks, and limited mobility. Although there are some cases of highly mobile exceptions, they absorb shock very well, but are susceptible to redacted. Category S. There are some cases of using you have using here twice, the mutagenic agent to integrate human flesh with artificial constructs. We do not know if they are done by the researchers or if the mutagen is naturally capable of assimilating organic material with metallic surfaces. Organic structures appear to repurpose metallic frameworks and machinery for functional survival. Documented cases include full takeover of autonomous service units, highly dangerous and are resistant to physical force. If engaging them, it is best to use redacted-based weapons. I would assume it's like the opposite of what they're resistant to. Like if they're resistant to physical force, maybe they're weak to like electricity or something. I don't know. Category 0. Entities not consistent with known mutation patterns. Presumed native to Eldread 4 or an associated external system, as one case was hanging from the sky. Composition appears non-terrestrial, combining traits across multiple unrelated biological phyla. We are unable to resolve the classification. Seems to be resistant to all energy-based weapons. That's what I was talking about. If it's resistant to physical, maybe it's weak to energy. But like Category H, extremely vulnerable to redacted. And then it says, come join us. Okay. Now that we got that all out of the way, I think this asterisk is what it was talking about here for our expanded stat screen here. And it allows us to look at our perks. We have no active perks. We can look at our stats here. Okay, cool. Now, let's, I guess, pick a direction to go and see what happens. Let's see, warp to crash site, repair your ship and escape. I don't think we can do that yet, if I were to guess. Let's go to the abandoned base. Oh, this looks cool. Check for first aid. You didn't find anything. Look again. Let's look again. Okay. So, I assume if there's no, like, option to click anything, that you can't just, like, randomly click around the environment. But let's, okay, there's, alright, I just randomly clicked the shower button. Sanitizer. Cleanse corruption. Use shower. For showering, recovered health. Okay. Exit shower. We have these different rooms we can look through. General store. Okay. This is where we can buy some stuff. So if we have a flashlight, it increases your perception, helps you see in the dark. Duh. Then you have your lead pipe, which is a melee weapon. Effect, 35% bruised. It will leave a mark. Container, small. Stores oxygen, right? We read about that. And then stun gun is an electric effect. Physical electric has a stun effect. And info stops monsters on their tracks. Should be in their tracks. And you have the black market, which you need a password for. And then X morph, which is another shop for seals your wound and stops bleeding. Then bandages, recovers health. Cleanser, removes slime. Okay, okay. This is our trunk, which I guess is our storage box like we usually see in games. The option for the little shirt on the clothes hanger there is unavailable. Loot box. Tactical gear. Increases tactics by 2. Whip. That work? Yeah, we have tactical gear now. Okay. Box is empty. Break open. You injured yourself. Great. Don't have a lockpick. Okay. We can refill our oxygen here as well. This is back here. And these, I guess, is our options. An old monitor. Okay. Just save and exit. Just. Okay. Alright. Alright. Well, we're back. Save and exit just, like, takes you out of the game. And now this item has changed. Increases oxygen gain from O2 containers, but also increase oxygen depletion from running in monsters. Let's do that. Well, here are our settings. Thank God. Love the music, but I had it a little too loud. Let's... move to trunk. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, I almost left those parts behind last time. I threw them in the trunk. Let's... this is our equipment. I'm a little confused, though. Didn't I just pick up some stuff? Why is my inventory empty? Maybe I just threw it all in my trunk? I'm just trying to figure this out. I know we haven't really done much yet, but I'm very intrigued in this. Nope, I don't want to do that. Let's exit. Let's go explore. Ghost colony, surface of Eldread. Eldread jungle. Oh my god, that sounds bad. Where are we? I don't know, I just picked the middle one. Let's search for the ship parts. You picked up a signal several miles away. Could be salvageable ship parts. Your scanner points toward the lowlands beneath a large elliptical moon. Moon that you could have sworn was not there before. Ah, it's some kind of space god. The terrain below looks uninviting, but repairing your ship leaves you no choice but to move forward. Okay, explore the surface. You begin your search for spaceship parts. What? I have some high hazards here. Do we even have a weapon? I don't think we do. Laptop, shop for items. I don't think we even have anything to buy with. Is there a way to, like, just leave this area and go back where we were, or no? Rest is HP. You'll lose a little bit of oxygen. Let's just pick the first sector, I suppose, is what this is saying. Oh my god. The strange statuette draws you in. Should you touch it? I don't know, should I? Oh, event choices. It looks dead, whatever it is. Touch it. Uh-oh. You got corrupted by the statuette. Oxygen lost, minus 2%. Oxygen from event, minus 1%. Corruption from event, 5%. Okay, well, that sucks. You stare at the pitch black sky as you wander through the rocky surface. Okay, I'm just looking. Let's do the second sector. Gwar! Scan target. Swap attack. Alternate between an attack that can cause bleed and depleting oxygen. Oh, this thing is gross, dude. Okay, melee attack. We can do 2 damage. It has some accuracy, and we have no ranged attack. We have no ally attack. Okay. Offense. Attack. Did it hit us back? Oh man, this thing is kicking our butt. You hit the enemy for 2 damage. Enemy hits you for 5 damage. It's preparing to strike with its tubular arm. Okay, enemy depletes your oxygen for 7%. It's preparing to strike with its spiked arm. Oh, we're bleeding now. It's preparing to strike with its tubular arm. Okay. I think we're gonna die. Enemy attack missed, but we lost health from bleeding. We beat it. We defeated the enemy. Yay. Okay, let's set camp. We do not have a lot of oxygen left. Are we just like stuck here forever? Can we not go back to the map? Can't seem to figure that out. If it even is an option. Let's look at our laptop. Entering store costs 3% oxygen. Oh my god. Okay. Helmet replaces your current helmet. Okay. X morph. That kit's only restore 5 health? That seems crazy. We could just buy as many of these as we want? I guess I don't understand. We need a bandage. Oh, it's using my oxygen. Okay. Let's use a bandage and a med kit. I don't know if we're even able to survive much more than this. Let's go to Sector 3. The corruption is getting worse. Choice. Move on. We lost oxygen and we gained corruption. That's something that's just like unavoidable since I touched that statue. Your scanner picked up something. I wonder if it is just another useless heap of scrap metal. Okay, let's go to the last one. Biohazard. You see a bucket filled with indescribable matter. Observing it more closely. Touching it may get you contaminated. Kick the bucket. Kick the bucket and a chunk of something flew out. Oxygen lost 2%. Yeah. What was the chunk of something? Organic waste. Intent corruption. Okay. So, I see this bar filling up underneath the sectors. Do I need to, like, keep searching until it's filled up, or what? Because I don't think it's letting me leave this menu here to look back somewhere else. Oh, I see. Your suit got cut and air is leaking out. Oh, frick. Proceed. Well, that sucks. I guess we just keep picking these until we fill the bar up. Here's one item. Press combine to use it on an appropriate item. Not enough cash. Now, am I blind or do I not see a cash counter anywhere? I literally don't see... It has a little dollar sign by it. Somewhere here. Okay, whatever. Let's look at... It's not in our inventory. Interesting. Well, our oxygen is running out, and I don't know what to do about it, so let's just pick another area. Walk away. Like, I can't figure out any way to get... I would like to just be able to leave a section and go back to the moon base. Oh my god, suddenly everything just went dark. All the stars and moons disappear, and the only light source left is the faint glow coming from your suit. Take a run for it. Keep your eyes open and move slowly. Don't move. You decided not to move and wait for the lights to return. Oxygen lost 2%. Oxygen from event minus 3%. Okay. Your scanner suddenly malfunctions. Start to panic. After all the chaos, it's good to see a friendly face for once. Recruit. You gained an ally and also lost oxygen. I understand the oxygen is just more of like action points, more or less, like how many actions you can take at a certain level or like up to a certain point. But it feels very punishing right now because I can't seem to figure out how to just get out of here so I can get more oxygen. Obviously, wait, we got Brett as our ally? So it's us? I guess because there's only 2 characters in the demo. I guess that makes sense. I don't know, dude. I just think we're screwed. So I'm missing something? I don't know. Oh, I should pay more attention to, like, encounter rate, but also the hazard don't, like, correlate with each other. I assumed, like, I was just looking at, oh, 60%. and then just like moving on. But if the hazard is low, then that's like not that big a deal, right? You find an oxygen tank next to a corpse. It still has air. Holy God. Thank goodness. Okay, let's go with this first one again. It's performing a ritual. Starman. Boy, he looks cool. Break helmet. Attacks have a chance of breaking your helmet. Oh, we're screwed. Performing a ritual. Create distance. Distance yourself. Enemy misses your next melee or ranged attack. Crits. Let's do that. Enemy corrupts. For 7. You create distance. Evasion increased. Your helmet got cracked. Okay, let's attack. Select a perk. Oh, no, I don't know. Tentacle Strike? Damage, accuracy, crit, type, God. Effect, never miss. Cost 5 corruption? Is there a way to see that anywhere? Oh, here we go. We got all this stuff down here. Okay. You defeated the enemy. You attack with your tentacle strike for 10 damage. You hit the enemy for 10 damage. End event. You made it to the signaled location, but you then hear a growl. Fight, boss. I'm not going to survive this. Fight, boss. It's about to attack. Amorphous beast. This thing looks crazy. Regain health each turn. Okay, so it can regenerate. Our tactical abilities unavailable. Deplete 10% of your oxygen to escape battle. I don't think we can. Oh wait, we can do this. Focus. I'm a little confused by all this. So we have melee ranged ally. Spread a sacrifice for 8 damage. Enemy hits you for 3 damage. Enemy regenerated health. Oh, that's not too bad of damage, actually. Let's create some distance. Where did we get focus from? Putting on tactic. Okay. Great distance. Evasion increased. Enemy attack missed. You see an opening. Enemy regenerates health. Boom! Hit him for 6 damage. Enemy attack missed. We have. I wish I could see what my corruption is. What this tentacle is using. Dude, we can totally beat him. We got him. Nice. You defeated the enemy. It's, when I change like the toggle UI like this, sometimes like the little window for attack follows it up there to the right. That's I think not intentional. But anyways, you defeated the enemy. You hit the enemy for 8 damage. Enemy dropped slime chunk. So much damage was dealt to the abomination, it couldn't regenerate anymore. Digging through the gelatinous chunks, you found parts you can use for your ship. Nice! Oh my god, I can't believe we survived that. We got a question mark up here. I'm kind of blocking it, but it says, large elliptical moons appeared. Effect, monsters are stronger. That sucks. Alright, we refilled some oxygen. Let's go to the shower. We're gonna... Well, maybe I shouldn't have cleansed my corruption. Well, maybe I should have. I don't know. We're learning. You already showered. Out of sanitizer. No first aid. I don't know how much money I have. I don't know why I can't figure that out. weird. Is it the 2 there? In the bottom right? Oh, we can't buy the pipe. That sucks. Oh, there's a bunch of random stuff in here now. We looted the box. Organic waste. I wish this would just say, like, take or something instead of use. I don't know what Eye of Chiag is, but it sounds cool. Let's take it. Recover 15 health, but gain 9% corruption. Thinking me using it is, like, actually using it? I actually don't know. Let's go with knowledge. We have a broken P rifle. Toss. Sell. Combine. Trunk. Whip. Use? Trunk. I don't know, dude. Let's see here. Okay, that should be in our inventory now, right? Yeah. Whip. Okay, we can look at our equipment. I don't think we can equip it because it's broken. Let's see, can we repair it? Let's see how we can get this going here. So in the moon base, let's go to the moon base. Let's go to the trunk. It's drill gun parts, okay. I feel like at some point we'll be able to repair that thing. So maybe we should just keep it. What happened to all that stuff that I had, though? The slime chunks and stuff? I guess I'm accidentally, like, using them and it's, like, making them go away. Box is empty. Well, that's on me then, I guess. Whoops. Okay. Very interesting. I don't think there's anything else here we can do. Let's exit. We have some ship parts. How many? I don't know how many we need, so I don't think I want to waste time going to the crash site. I like, they might just put us behind a little bit. Let's go explore again. So I went to the center last time. I wonder why some of these are grayed out and some aren't. Ghost Colony, Jungle. Maybe we can't go to them in the demo. Yeah, they won't let me do anything. We went to the center one. Let's go to the Ghost Colony. You recall rumors from your crew about this place. Former research facilities were established here. Reports reference human experimentation focused on longevity. Some accounts suggest the research may have approached immortality. Although it's unrelated to your objective, your curiosity started to kick in. Curiosity killed the cat. You decide to check out the rumors while you continue your salvage operations to rebuild your ship. Okay, you began to do your investigation into the rumors about immortality. Area name. Abandoned base. Oh, old facility. Run down. Radio tower. Sewage system. Lab entrance. Ooh, we got a lot of places. Okay, let's just hit up the inn first. We found some cash. Wow, proceed. Oxygen lost. We gained two bucks. I guess we just need to remember that. Because for the life of me... Oh, right there. It's below the DNA symbol. Like a stack of coins. But like when you look at the symbol by the money, it's actually like a money sign. So that confused me. I assumed that my money would be represented by a money sign somewhere on my UI. So the fact that it's a stack of coins just threw me off. I didn't know what it was. So now we know. Now we know. So we went to the inn. Lab entrance, old facility. Go to the radio tower. See a repair kit high up on the shelf. We're going to climb up to get it, and we're going to hurt ourselves. That's what's going to happen. You fell down and injured yourself. I freaking knew it. Did we get the repair kit? Are you kidding me? Whoa, these locations have moved to different places. Is it because I'm at a different place? That my orientation has changed? A dirty oxygen tank. We found an oxygen tank still intact in an abandoned base. The oxygen tank looks very dirty. Okay, well, the oxygen's on the inside, so... Level up perks. You refilled oxygen, but the tank was highly contaminated. Oh my freaking god. So we lost some oxygen, but we gained some oxygen. But we got some corruption as well. So we have a level up perk here. Increases strength. Heat weapons deal more damage. Increase knowledge. Let's get some strength. Whoa, what the heck? That was weird. I feel like it would have just given it to me. Okay, let's continue. So, it will be hard to move freely in this cluttered space. You won't have room to distance yourself. What is that saying that for? I don't know. What are we doing here? Abandoned base. You found an oxygen tank. It still has air. Yay. Like, because last time, you know, we had a bar that was filling up. Telling me I was making some progress, but this time I don't understand what I'm doing. I guess just investigating. Down. Oh, slurp, slurp. It's a polyp. Scan the target. Latch can latch onto you and prevent you from attacking. Each turn you have a chance of shaking it off. Oh my god, what a nightmare creature. Okay, let's see. We have melee attack. We have a tentacle strike. Costs 14. But does 14. Also, I wish I knew what my corruption was. Attack. Whoa, you defeated the enemy. You hit the enemy for 14 damage. Enemy dropped chitin fiber. I noticed my DNA number went up. We look really freaking screwed up now. I think the DNA symbol is our corruption, but it goes up when you use something like Tentacle Strike. I thought it was spinning it, but it looks like it's giving it to us. Okay, maybe we should chill out with that. Heals 2, increases corruption by 3. No. I will not use it. Let's, I feel like going into the sewer is probably a bad idea. Go to the lab entrance. Oh my god, a stalker. It's been following me. Okay, melee attack. Wait. Let's do this. Distance yourself. I don't know if I really should do that. We have more strength now, though. Let's do distance. Enemy hits you. Your lungs got poisoned. There is no room to create distance. Oh, I should have read that. That's what that meant. Okay. That's what that told me earlier. Okay, that's my bad. So we have the eye that I think I picked earlier. Next move can't miss, deals bonus damage, and the damage type becomes corruption. I don't know if they're weak to corruption. Let's try it. You corrupt yourself. Oh my god, we look insane. Melee. We got him. Enemy attack missed. You hit the enemy for 3 damage. Okay. Well, we look terrible. Let's go to the shop. See if there's anything in here. Oh, we can buy a repair kit. Oh my gosh. That is very tempting. Cleanser. Removes disorientation. Seals your wound and stops bleeding. We're poisoned, though. Anything or brick? What does poison actually lose oxygen each turn? Oh my freaking god. We're in trouble. Let's just heal a little bit. I know I just used oxygen. We're gonna buy that. We're gonna use it. Get our oxygen back up some. So now we're broke. Old facility. The gods are worms. The colony captain. Jesus Christ. That looks horrifying. So let's just punch him. Enemy missed. Okay, we're losing oxygen from poison. That's fine. No big deal. Alright, we got hit. We depleted our oxygen a little bit. Let's just keep punching him. Uh-oh. We ran out of oxygen. Dang. That's really unfortunate. Alright, well, I think I'm going to go over my first impressions of this game. I'd like to be able to try to finish the demo and give it my final judgment then, but unfortunately I need to run some errands today, so I don't have much more time to do this, so I'll just go over it in a detailed manner like I usually do, and just share my general first impressions of the demo. And if you're just here for the gameplay, I appreciate you hanging out and I hope to see you again. I always start with visuals in my reviews, and I quite like the visual presentation of this game. It reminds me of a game that one of my subscribers recommended to me to play on my channel, and it was the game was called The White Chamber. It reminds me of that quite a bit, and I think that's a good thing because I quite like that game. So the visual presentation is really cool. It's very retro. It's very pleasing to look at. I almost wish maybe there was even a potential addition of having different color grades to use just for player preference. I don't mind the blue and the greenish kind of hue you have here. I'm not saying it's bad or it doesn't work well. I just think it would be interesting to see additional options for colors in the future. Aside from that, I quite like the UI in the game. I like that it's a very descriptive game. There's a lot to read, but it's easy to read. Unfortunately, there are some grammatical errors and some repeating words and, you know, stuff like that that could be fine-tuned and, you know, do a little bit more proofreading going forwards, and I think you'll be able to figure all that out just fine. I just wanted to point that out. Also think it would work well if when I'm like highlighting something in my stats screen, like my money or something like that, that a little tooltip would pop up and say like money, or just give me a little tooltip of what I'm highlighting, just because just sometimes I just don't know what the symbols are. And just if I could just highlight a symbol and it just tell me what it is, I think that would be very informative, and I think it would work well. But I like the monster designs that we came across so far. They look really cool. They're disturbing. They're creepy and weird and very cosmic horror-esque, obviously. We're on a moon, so with unknown life forms and whatnot. So I think that worked really well. I really like the monster design that I've seen so far. So great job with that. And I like the way our characters look. I like the way the UI looked, like I said. I like the way the world itself looks, you know, the moon base and when we're inside and looking at the shower and things like that. There's a lot of attention to detail there, and I think it's really well done, actually. I think I just really like the way all that's, you know, presented, and I think it comes across as very convincing environments and everything, and I think it works well. So great job there. Aside from that, I don't really have any issues involving the visual presentation. I think it's a solid first impression. Now, in terms of the audio, I quite enjoy the music here and throughout the game. It really sets the tone and carries the tone throughout. I quite like it. I like the combat music as well. It's not too abrasive and too in your face, but it really adds to the, you know, dynamic feel of running across something and then the mood changing a little bit. And it's like, oh, we got to be on guard. We got to fight this thing. So great job with the music in general. I think it's totally fine. And I like all the sounds of clicking and interacting and, you know, doing things like that throughout. The enemies hitting us hitting them. I think the sound design is totally fine. Nothing stood out to me that was an issue or I think could be adjusted in any manner of speaking. So great job. Now, in terms of mechanics, I quite enjoy the approach to this game. It kind of reminds me of a game I used to watch people play a lot. I can't remember what it's called, but it's called like Don't Live or something. It's where you're like plopped into some scenario you have to survive, like the end of the world or something. I watched John Wolfe play those games, and you have to basically play the game and do some trial and error and how to get all the like different endings and stuff like that. Don't survive or don't something. I can't remember what it's called, but it reminded me of that as well, where I just basically have to like explore and be careful with the risks that I take and the items that I use and how I spend my money. So there's a really nice meta game there of how to approach everything because the game can punish you. Maybe the oxygen depleting with literally everything I do in the game felt maybe a little too punishing for me, but I understand the purpose of it and the style of game. So it's not really a complaint. It's more of a personal nitpick. I wonder if there's a way to balance that a little bit just so I don't feel literally punished for everything I'm doing in the game, because it did kind of feel that way for a little while, but I still enjoy the almost randomness of the game, being like a roguelite. You have to be very careful and use your perks correctly and really think ahead of your resource management and things like that. There's a lot of different debuffs and enemy types that can affect you in many different ways, like bleeding and poison and breaking our helmet and taking our oxygen and stuff like that. So I think it works together really well. There's, I think, a lot more depth here than it might seem at first, especially with how much there is to read and how much of a tutorial section you have for explaining everything, which I think is really appreciated. I think it's a great addition to sort of break everything down for me, so I can just at least read it first, and then as I play the game, I can sort of connect the dots a little bit myself. So while I think the game is a little punishing, I still think it's really engaging and it's very fascinating. I like the way you set everything up and just kind of threw us into it. And I think obviously our goal is to collect enough ship parts to repair a ship and leave, but it obviously being sort of random on what enemy appears or what event happens. Like if you fall and hurt yourself, I don't know if it's like always going to happen or it's all based on your stats, and picking the correct perks and leveling up and all that stuff will eventually make more sense, because this is definitely one of those games that you need to play more than once to really get the flow of it and to sort of, connect everything, like I said. So I would say the mechanics are really solid, actually. I think maybe there could be some fine tuning with the cost of oxygen being so strict. Maybe that's your intent. Obviously, if it is, I totally respect that. I'm not telling you to change anything. I'm just throwing something out there from my personal experience. So overall, a solid job with the mechanics. Now, in terms of story and concept, most of the story is sort of thrown at us at the very beginning with a little intro sequence, which I quite liked. You're exploring and then looking for some kind of colony, I believe, that's gone missing, and some strange entities crash into your ship and you land on this mysterious moon. I think it set the tone really well right out of the bat. I like how it was very simple and to the point. It wasn't overfluffed with anything. And I assume as we play the game more and explore and read and whatnot, that more things will come to light and build upon the story even more. A lot of maybe secrets and whatnot hiding out here on this moon for us to discover, and I think that's really cool. I like the idea of that. So solid first impression with the story. I think it's a nice starting point, and it's, I think, very compelling and just right up my alley in terms of its themes with cosmic horror and whatnot. So awesome job with the story so far. And overall concept of the game, I think, is solid as well. I don't play a lot of games like this personally. They're not usually my cup of tea. I mean, I like roguelite and likes, but they're usually more action-oriented, like Hades or something like that, or Shape of Dreams, or, things like that. But I do like the approach to this game. I like it being more of a text adventure kind of game. It's very cool. I like to read, even though I kind of mess up my reading most of the time. Too much ADHD. I get distracted when I'm reading. I like to distract myself, if that makes sense. But I do like your approach to this game quite a bit. So awesome job with the story and the concept. And the overall performance of the game is super solid. No issues, no bugs that I noticed. I didn't have any crashes. The one thing is, though, when you launch the game, it launches in windowed mode. And even setting it to full screen mode, if you were to close the game, it relaunches in window mode, which isn't a big deal. I just wanted to point that out. And I also believe these settings sort of default back to where they were when doing so, when relaunching the game. So I don't know if you're able to adjust that in the future, but having people to adjust things every time they open the game might get a little annoying. But who knows? I just wanted to point it out. But like I said, the performance is totally fine. We'll also talk about the settings during this segment. And you have your settings menu here, which is your master volume, your music volume, and your sound volume. Arrow keys here, which I don't mind. I wish there was maybe like a number indicating the minimum and maximum volume for these, because I'm sort of just kind of guessing and going by my own ear of how loud things are. But I wish I had a little bit more of a visual representation of where they are based on their minimal or maximum volume. Just that would just make me happier. So it's not a big deal. I just wanted to make a point of that. You have your CRT toggle here, which is on by default, and you can turn it off, which is totally fine. Then you have your trypophobia filter or on or off, which I appreciate. I don't necessarily have trypophobia, but it is something that sort of bothers me quite a bit, but it doesn't like, you know, just throw me completely out of my mind and like make me sick. But I know a lot of people don't like trypophobia triggers, so I do appreciate that being added. I think there was one monster we fought whose eyes were like that, and it may have been because the settings had defaulted back when I relaunched the game earlier and I forgot to turn it back on. And I assume when you have trypophobia on, it means you have trypophobia and you want the filter on to remove it or to hide it. I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Just a guess. Anyways, so you also have your full screen option here and your resolutions, which I appreciate. And for the kind of game this is and what we experienced, I think these settings are totally fine. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of a transparent indicator of the volume levels, but aside from that, I think these options are totally fine. Like I said, it would be cool to see some additions of some different color hues or filters for the game, especially those who may be colorblind. So it could come down to personal preference. Do you want the game to have more of like a reddish brown color or a bluish green, kind of like it is, or a yellowish green, or a, you know, you could have some additions there just to like sort of invert colors or whatever, just to make it easier for some people who may not be able to see this kind of color here, or just for preference, like I said. That's just a suggestion, so no big deal there. So performance, like I said, is totally fine. Settings are totally fine. And overall, I would say this is a pretty solid first impression for a demo. I didn't really have any big, you know, crazy complaints, or I didn't see anything that was crazy out of whack or that was malfunctioning or anything like that. I thought it was an engaging, fun experience. It was unique for me, especially to experience. And there are a few things that could be adjusted, like I mentioned throughout my review here, such as the text and maybe the oxygen levels not being so punishing, some additional options for colorblindness and things like that. And just in general, I think the game doesn't need much more work to it. Just a little bit of fine tuning, maybe some additional tool tips for when I highlight things. It just tells me what it is. And I think that would go a long way. Solid first impression with this, a really, really solid demo. And I think it really showcased exactly what I would expect from the full game. It gave me enough gameplay to really understand what was going on, even though I only really played it through one time. But the fact that you can replay it and it has some procedurally generated events and randomness associated with it, I think makes even just the demo a very engaging and replayable experience to learn more and more about it the more you play it. So a nice opportunity to learn by doing. So awesome job with the demo. I won't give it a final judgment. I don't think it'd be fair to it since I didn't beat the demo, but I still think it is a very solid first impression, like I keep saying. So awesome job with this, and I hope you continue to develop this and to fine tune it and to expand it and bring it to its final form. And I think people will really like this. So keep up the great work, and I wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors and your work. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this game? Do you agree or disagree with me? Do you have anything to add? Do you just want to say hi? Let me know what's up. Don't forget to check the pinned comment below for the links to everything and go play this game for yourself and form your own opinion. I'm sure the developer would really appreciate your feedback as well as mine. And if you'd like to support my channel, hit subscribe, leave a like, comment, share the video. I would greatly appreciate that. I also have links to my socials in the description if that interests you. And I thank you for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day, but I think that's all I have to say about it. So thanks for hanging out with me, but don't forget.